On this episode of China Uncensored, time paradox in China! Hi, welcome to China Uncensored. I'm your timekeeper, Chris Chappell. You know, China is a pretty big place. It's just slightly smaller than the continental United States. But here's something you probably don't know. The United States has 4 different time zones, so when it's 9 a.m. in New York, it's 6 a.m. in Los Angeles. Makes sense. They don't do that in China. In China, despite geographically containing 5 time zones, there's 1 time zone. No matter where you are in China, you're on Beijing time. So that means if it's 9 a.m. in Beijing, it's 9 a.m. in places like Tibet and Xinjiang. Except really 9 a.m. in Tibet is like 6 a.m. The sun's just coming out. So needless to say, that's a little impractical for people living in Western China. That's just another one of the fun little things the Chinese government does to screw with Tibetans. Of course, that also makes it really confusing for anyone visiting that part of the country. Because of how impractical it is to be on Beijing time in Tibet, the locals have, in addition to official Beijing time, an unofficial local time. But they don't always make it super clear which one they're using. Now, this wasn't always the case. The Republic of China used the 5 different time zones, but one of the first things the Chinese Communist Party did after taking power in 1949 was to unify time and space. They believe in struggling against heaven, and I guess they really meant it. I mean, it's gotta be really inconvenient for everyone who isn't actually within Beijing's time zone. It's just an example of how the Chinese government tries to make everything seem unified on the surface by imposing whatever crazy rule they want, without any consideration for how it actually affects people. So what do you guys think? Should all of China really be slave to Beijing time? Leave your comments below, like China Uncensored on Facebook, or you can follow me on Twitter, and check back again tomorrow for another new episode of China Uncensored. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. See you next time.